Hi there, welcome back to the DutchRC channel. Somewhat a different kind of show and tell this time. I, as you can see, already have the quadcopter from XK out in the field. I'm gonna do a first test flight with it in a minute. And this is the XK X500. An aerial videography or photography quadcopter, and I got this one from GearBest. I'll have a link in the description so you can check out the availability and the pricing of it. It is a 500 size quadcopter, as the name implies, brushless, and I do have a gimbal hanging off from the front. That's not that doesn't come standard with the quadcopter, nor does it have a camera. And you might think, well, that's strange, a videography quadcopter without a camera and without a gimbal. Well, yes, but the price is accordingly, and this way maybe you already have a camera or even a gimbal, like I do. I won't be using the gimbal in this first test flight, by the way. I think there's something wrong with my gimbal at the moment. But yeah, this way you have, you can make your own choice of gimbals and cameras. So it's a kind of a modular design in a way, that's like that. So yeah, I've already calibrated the quadcopter. Not very difficult. It takes no more than a minute to do a compass calibration, and I'm gonna do a test flight with it. After the test flight, I'll obviously show you some more detail of the quadcopter, more details, sorry, and I'll put some specs on screen right now for you, so you can check that out. Obviously, you can pause the video if you want to have a closer look at those specs. And at the end of this video, I will also show you what comes with this quadcopter. So let's see if it flies at all. You arm it by pulling both sticks down and out. There, as you can see, it spins up. And then you have, apparently you can't take off by applying throttle. You have to press that take off button, so let's do that. Oh, you do have to, you have to hold on to the throttle a little longer, apparently. Now, this being an aerial videography platform, it should maintain its position once you let go of the sticks. I didn't wait very long for it to pick up satellites, but it looks very stable. I'm flying it hands off at the moment. Yeah, this looks rock solid. That's very nice, of course. Obviously you can then fly the quadcopter, but as soon as you let go of the sticks, it'll return to position hold again. So that's nice. That works just fine, as you can see. Now, this quadcopter will never be a very fast quadcopter, as it is meant for videography only. And as you can see, it flies very, very smoothly. In a future video, I'll show you demo footage with a working gimbal underneath it. I'm not sure what's wrong with my gimbal, but like I said, the gimbal does not come with this quadcopter. It does come with a flight battery, but we'll have a look at what comes with the quadcopter in a few minutes. Now, the quadcopter has a few automated features or functions. For instance, a panoramic mode in which it will just circle in place, or a panning mode in which it will circumnavigate an object of your choice. Yeah, I'll show you those features in separate videos. Otherwise this video here would be a bit too long. For now, of course, I'm very happy that it flies. Let's see, what more can I tell you? Yeah, I had kind of expected the quadcopter to have an APM flight controller. It doesn't. XK does offer software to alter settings in the flight controller, but it doesn't seem to be an APM or Pixhawk flight controller. Let's see, yeah, this being my first flight with it, I do not know what the flight time will be. I have no idea. It is advertised as having a flight time of what? 30 minutes? I think that would be a bit optimistic. But if it's 20 minutes, that's okay, I think. And as you can probably tell, it has a normal hobby grade kind of LiPo, a 4S LiPo. So you can use whatever LiPo you want, of the brand and make of your choice. That's nice. So it's, yeah, it's a fully configurable aerial videography platform. Now you can see it wobble around a little. It is quite windy up there. Yeah, I haven't done any settings or calibration or updating of the flight controller at all yet. The motor arms are aluminum, the black parts you see, as is the landing gear. The center frame is glass fiber. It's very rigid, but we'll have a closer look at all the components and the quadcopter in a minute. Actually, let's try that circle mode. I should get into a panoramic mode by pressing this FAP button. Let's see what happens. Well, there you go. It's now slowly panning around. Bit of a shame my gimbal didn't work. It actually smoked while I connected it. That's not nice. Yeah, it does have a little trouble with the wind at this moment. So in the next video I'll try to fly it with a little less wind. Oh, and if you want to get it out of the panoramic mode, you just press the FAP button again. And as you can see, now it's in regular flying mode again. Alright, yeah, so much for my first test and demo with this quadcopter. I'll try to gently set her down. Yes, it does have return to home, but well, I'm already home. Okay, and gently, yeah, it has altitude hold, of course, and therefore the transmitter has a sprung throttle stick, kind of like with a DJI Phantom, I guess. Apparently you can fly it low to the ground as well. Okay, does it automatically disarm? Yes, it automatically disarms. Very nice. Alright, yes, let's get back to the studio and I'll show you what comes with this XK X500. Okay, so we're back in the studio and let's have a final close-up look at the XK X500. Like I mentioned before, these arms, the black parts you see, are all aluminum, as are the landing feet. They feel very, very sturdy. They have plastic motor mounts. Feel just fine. I'm completely okay with that. They feel very, very sturdy. If you receive the quadcopter, the assembly is super simple. You just have to screw on these landing struts, landing feet, a couple of screws, very simple, and then you have to put on the propellers. They have self-tightening nuts. Let's see if I can get one off. There. You just have to hand tighten them pretty well, and then they're okay. So that's very nice. Yeah, obviously if you like the looks of the quadcopter or not is subject to personal taste. I do like it, but it is an aerial video quadcopter. It doesn't have to look super nice. Yeah, I do like this paint scheme though. This body shell you see over here is a Lexan cover, and it has the GPS antenna in it, as you can see over here, and you can very easily take it off. It is just friction fitted, and you can then lift it off. Yeah, the GPS antenna obviously still connects to the quadcopter this way, but it has a nice long lead, so it won't be in the way of things. And now you have a look at the center frame, which, like I mentioned before, is glass fiber, I think. Yes, that's glass fiber. It has an upper and a lower plate. Over here, yeah, there's a little bit of a wire mesh. Well, no, it's not a mesh, but it's a little harder to surface that part of the quadcopter if you want to change things out. Over here, this white thing over here is the flight controller. I really do not know what kind of flight controller it is, but it flies well, so there's no real need to surface or upgrade that, I think. And at the rear here, this green part you hopefully be able to see is the Futaba compatible receiver with 2 leads, 2 antenna, so it should be full range. That's nice. Yes, so much for the frame itself. Now I have to say that it came very well packaged from GearBest. I'll show you the box the quadcopter came in. So yeah, a pretty big box obviously, with a carrying handle, but GearBest also put another box around this, so it arrived in pristine condition. That's very nice. Not only a foam wrap around this box. Yeah, I was happy to see that. Okay, on to the radio then that comes with this X500. You see 2 XK radios here, an X7 that comes with the X252, and this is the X8 that comes with this X500. They look very similar, but they really are not. On the X500 transmitter, this throttle stick is sprung. Like I said before, basically like on a DJI Phantom quadcopter. So if you let go of the stick, the quadcopter will just hover at its current altitude. Whereas a normal transmitter doesn't have a sprung throttle stick. There are a few other minor differences. This X7 transmitter is programmable, where this one is not. So this radio really is only intended to be used on the X500, which is fine, I guess. So yeah, these radios are good radios. They feel comfortable. They have a nice weight to them, and I've had no issues at all with these transmitters. One of the last really important things in the box is this charger. Yeah, it is not like your hobby grade kind of charger, but it is better than what you get with most RTR RC equipment. It's not, well, it is a balanced sport charger, but it has a display that shows you some information on what's going on. It has a power brick. Mine came with a European plug, so that's good for me, of course. And it also comes with this lead with alligator clips, so you can actually hook it up to your car battery, for instance, so you can charge up your LiPo in the field. So that's good. Alright, and the last thing you get with the quadcopter is a manual, or actually several manuals, one in Chinese and one in English, and some leaflets which were all in Chinese. Well, okay, this manual is pretty okay, I think. It tells you everything you need to know to get your quadcopter started, and how to use the special features. It's features like the panoramic mode and hovering around a point of interest, how to charge the LiPo, how to use the return to home, and how to calibrate the compass in your quadcopter, not unimportantly. If you, for instance, go and fly on a different spot or in a different area, it is always a good practice with a quadcopter like this to calibrate it every time. And like I said, the calibration doesn't take long or is complicated. Takes no more than a minute, so that's just fine, I think. And that's it. That's it for my well, initial show and tell of this X500. Yeah, sure, I'll try and do other videos with this quadcopter, obviously. Hold on for that. If you're not subscribed yet, please do, so you won't miss out on those videos. For now, thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you back in another video. Bye bye!